go on and leave us a review. It really helps us to continue to know what are some of the things that you want to learn more about, and if this information is helping you grow and maintain your business. Welcome to the Speaking for Profit podcast, where we talk about how to monetize your expertise and secure the bag. I'm your host, Benton, the Speaking for Profit coach. And today's conversation is all about the state of the creators economy. And I'm really excited and looking forward to having this conversation with you all, because as a fellow creator, seeing the economy shift and change is one of the things that I've been noticing. And one of my favorite platforms, companies, Kajabi, put out an amazing report to really break down what are some of the things that we're seeing with the creator economy and how it can help you to be a consistent business owner. Now, I know many of you might be starting your creator business, and I just want to emphasize being a creator in this economy can mean so many different things. But what we're focused on the Speaking for Profit podcast in particular is if you're a speaker, a consultant, or even a digital product creator, like a course creator or ebook creator, you're creating expertise through the knowledge that you know, and you're monetizing it, those type of creators. But I know there's dancers, singers, so many folks in this economy, but that's what we're focusing on, right? Folks who are speaking for profit, utilizing your voice and your expertise to make money. It can be really challenging to find consistency. So what I appreciate about this report that Kajabi has came up with, I think it'll give us some key tools, strategies, and things to think about as we're creating more and as we're building more of a sustainable business. And one of the things that I want for everyone who watches this podcast, listens to it, if you're listening, or who's a part of Speaking for Profit University, our core program, is I want you to build something that's sustainable. And I know for some of you, this is a part-time gig. For some time, it's full-time. Whether it's part-time or full-time, consistency is important, right? You don't want a gig that's up and down. You want to begin to see some of the waves and some of the consistency there. And this report really gives us a clear picture on that. So that's what we're going to focus on today. If you're watching on YouTube, go on and like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And if you're listening on anywhere that podcasts play in your ears, go on and leave us a review. It really helps us to continue to know what are some of the things that you want to learn more about, and if this information is helping you grow and maintain your business. So let's get into the conversation. I'm going to share my screen because I want to share with you some of the data that Kajabi is presenting to us when we're talking about the creator economy. When we go to the website, number one, you can find this on Kajabi's website. If you go, you would just click here, see it says the State of the Creators 2024, and it simply asks you to read now. Click read now. When you click read now, it's going to take you over to this amazing report. And what I'll do is I'll share a link to the report in the show notes so that you can click on that and get the information if you would like for yourself. So Kajabi, the State of Creators 2024 report, Secrets of Six-Figure Creators. So they really start off this report examining over 2,000 creators to uncover strategies, behaviors, and mindsets and demographics that set six-figure creators apart. And just so y'all know, making six figures in your business as a creator is a big deal. Most creators don't even make that much. So I'm really excited to get into this because what we know, right, is if you can make your first $100, you can make your first $1,000, you can make your first $10,000, your first $100,000. You're utilizing the same skill set, but as you begin to scale, you need some different strategies sometimes, right? So this is going to be really interesting. I love this beginning part because Kajabi says creators are moving from the passenger seat to the driver's seat, which is really powerful, right? So I believe that before, a lot of creators were relying primarily on brand deals. And it even says here that in 2022, 66% of creators made most of their income from brand deals. But surviving off of brand deals, y'all, is just not it because it can be unpredictable. It can be extremely competitive. And what I've heard from some creators is that oftentimes it also puts the creator in the position where they don't even really want to create content anymore because the content that they're creating doesn't really sit with the integrity of their business. So we have to think about that as well. Like, as a business owner, do you really want to be a part of this creator economy and have to create things that don't feel like they're in liberty or that they have the same moral values of your brand, right? So as a result, 90% of creators had earned less than $100,000 a year. And it doesn't even end here, right? Creators are fighting a losing battle with algorithms designed to keep users glued on the platform and not share the wealth. So what we often see with social media platforms is that unless you're paying ad dollars, you're sometimes left out of the algorithm. So you can be creating some really great content organically, but if you're not paying to play, it's going to be hard for you to be seen. So that's the intro to this. So let's get into what's next. So they go into next talking about the creator ownership model that folks are starting to do, not just followers, but they want to own their followers, right? And folks are doing that by exploring digital products, right? So we've seen a surge of digital products at Kajabi, and this is some of the things that they got to see. Let me make this a little bit wider so that you could see it. Course offers sold, right? And look at this from 2020, right? In 2021, 9.1 million, but by 2023, $3 million more, right? And course offers sold. Memberships are going up as well. Memberships, and the difference, right, y'all? Courses are usually something that people can take on their own. Memberships are more like community-driven type of environments. So memberships have also increased, and the community offers sold have also increased, right? So we're seeing that creators are not just relying on brand deals, they're creating digital products and they're selling more of them. And I think we're also seeing the maturity of our audience and our customers. Our customers want a little bit more, right? Folks are very excited about social media still, but they want more intimacy with the creators that they're following. So what I find is that oftentimes people are often wanting to invest more, whether it's money, so that they can get more time with their favorite creators. So ownership is working. Creators on Kajabi have made $2 billion in the last year alone, and it's just the start. 1/3 of all creators we surveyed said that they will focus on diversifying their income streams in 2024. So that's where Kajabi gets into how six-figure creators run their business. And I love this concept because they're talking about how creators and how you and I should probably have at least 5 revenue sources. So let's see what the 5 revenue sources are. 2 revenue sources usually put people under 100K, right? 5 revenue sources are usually folks who are earning anywhere between 100 to 150. And then the 7 revenue streams are usually folks who are bringing in anywhere between 150 to $1 million, right? So we see as folks have more revenue streams, it allows them to grow more income, right? And 75% of top earners say you need multiple streams to be financially successful creator, and there's living proof. So let's look at the top revenue streams of six-figure creators. The number one, of course, is going to be digital products, right? And that's going to be your courses, your ebooks, your templates via marketplace. And that marketplace is usually a Kajabi or maybe a Thinkific or, any other platform that you're using. I prefer Kajabi. I'm always going to share that with y'all because it's one of my favorite platforms, but I've seen some other people doing some really cool stuff. And we're actually right now building out one of our first communities on a platform called School. And the reason I'm doing it there is I find that School's community side is a little bit better than Kajabi's, but it's just something we're trying out. I'm always going to be, Kajabi for the first stop, but you can try other things. So number 1, digital products. Number 2, platform payouts. So this is from being paid out from streams, views, AdSense. So let's say you have a YouTube channel, like right now you're watching the Speaking for Profit YouTube channel. As we grow and we monetize, eventually YouTube will start to run ads on our videos and we can get AdSense from that. Or, you have on Facebook and other places where you get paid per stream. So we're seeing that creators are making money from that as well. The other thing is physical products. And that could be anything, right? That could be t-shirts, mugs, but it also can be things that people actually utilize. Like maybe you have a really cool drone or something that you've created under your brand, a microphone. Maybe you created some art, whatever it is that you're selling. Physical products are the other thing that are really pushing creators to the next level as far as finances. The next is in-person consulting and coaching. And this is something I'm really excited about. Seeking for Profit University, we're going to be hosting our first in-person event this spring, early summer. And I know that that's going to be not only a major income driven, but a major impact driven, right? Because when you bring the folks who purchase digital products from you in person, there's just a different amount of intimacy and relationship building that happens there. So I'm very excited about that. And then the next one is online consulting and coaching, right? And we do that as well. We have an online consulting and coaching stream within our company as well. So these are the top 5 ways that creators are building their streams of income, right? We have this amazing solo creator. I love this quote. It says, income diversification is a smart move, both for the creator and their customers. For the creator, it's a de-risk relying heavily on one stream of income that for any number of reasons could decrease quickly. But I think people often neglect how helpful it is to be their customer. Different offerings for different learning styles, budgets, and free time mean more options for choosing the right product or service for them. In turn, this usually means more income for the creator. So that's great. So out of all the revenue streams they've built, 6-figure creators are more likely to build a digital product. And their top revenue driving product is usually online courses. And then they break down which digital products make the most of the revenue over the past 12 months. And what we've seen, right, based off Kajabi, is 70% of the income has came from online courses, 63% has came from digital product downloads, 57% subscriptions and memberships, and then 57% from online consulting and coaching. So I want y'all to take this kind of with a grain of salt because it really depends on your audience and their needs. I think one of the things that you can always start off with is a class. Even if you just have a digital product that's a 90-minute class that you sell, that's something that you could start off with your audience to get started to see if they have that appetite. And then you can continue to build more digital assets as you begin to have more conversations with their audience, and really depends on what their needs are, right? You really want to create things based off your audience needs, not just because you wake up with an idea. I'm big on, if you're going to create an offer, make sure that you validate it first so that you don't waste your time. So this is really cool information. They're talking about here, which is very interesting, that most creators depend on YouTube the most. And that's something that we've started to utilize more this year is YouTube. And how much would you lose in year if you lost access to YouTube platforms, right? So some folks are saying if they lost access to YouTube, they would probably lose around $50K a year. Instagram, $50K. Wow. TikTok, $50K. Everyone's saying they would lose around $50K, and they're just breaking down percentages. So 42% of folks said it's from YouTube, 38% said Instagram, 37% said TikTok, 36% said Facebook. So people aren't solely relying on these social platforms, but they know that they will lose a significant amount of income if they didn't have access to it, which is why, y'all, I say it's so important for us as creators to move people from social media platforms onto our email list, onto our text message thread, any way that we can. It's going to be a great way to be able to do that. So before we continue, I'm going to continue this report and we'll read part 2 and 3. Attention public speakers, coaches, and consultants. Ever dreamt of booking 5-figure speaking and consulting contracts? In just 5 days, I'm teaching my tried and tested system to elevate your speaking and consulting business. Forget the cold emails, bypass the salesy pitches. This challenge is about building genuine high-value connections. And here's a promise I have for you. With a commitment of just 1 to 2 hours a day for 5 days, you're going to witness transformative results. On day 1, you'll learn how to craft a business strategy without cold emails or paying to speak. Day 2 is all about you redefining your profile to attract decision makers ready to invest in your expertise. By day 3, You'll have your very own 5-figure sales system to turn contacts into clients. By day 4, we will have you automating your funnel with proven templates and scripts. And day 5, I'm going to teach you how to master the art of discovery calls with a step-by-step checklist and exclusive 5-figure sales secrets. Whether you're just stepping onto the speaking scene or you're a seasoned pro, this challenge is tailor-made for you. And I'm going to teach you the exact strategies that have helped me help my clients make over $2 million in the last 2 years. The journey to a thriving 5-figure speaking consulting business begins with this challenge. So are you ready to redefine your limits, accelerate your growth, and bask in the limelight of your success? I want you to join the 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Challenge now. Let's rewrite your success story together. Simply head over to speakingforprofit.com. You're going to click that button that says 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Gigs so you can get started with the challenge. Can't wait to see you there. All right, now back to the show. The one thing I do want to share with you all is if you are interested in taking a deeper dive and learning from me, learning from Speaking for Profit University on a regular basis, what we do is we do weekly trainings. We're committed to supporting you all on a weekly basis. They're usually every Wednesday at 3:30 EST. That's PM, 3:30 PM EST. Here on the Speaking for Profit YouTube channel. But I know that sometimes you're not on YouTube, right? You're driving, you're with your kids, you're doing things out in the world. So what we do is we send out a text message to let you know we're going live. We also share with you any podcasts that we drop. And in order to be on that text message list, all you have to do is just text the word speak to 323-405-9492. And we'll send you more information on the free trainings that we're having. And it's a great way to stay involved and to continue to get information on how to monetize your message and how to build more income and impact with your expertise. So I hope that you will join us there. It'll be a great opportunity to get to know you and to be able to support you with your growth. So let's get back into the report. I'm going to actually move on to part 2, which is all about behaviors and mindsets of creators. So what we've noticed is that when folks are more connected to brand deals, that most of the time they're prioritizing money over value when it comes to brand deals, right? So they're not really thinking about if it's aligned with their values. They're just trying to make money and trying to survive. So we really want to move creators out of that mindset. And we realize that brand deals can really fluctuate. And this is where it's really beginning to talk about the use of AI, right, with creators, which I think is really cool. I don't know about you all, but I'm probably in this 29% here that uses AI twice as often, right? I use it daily at this point. I'm using ChatGPT as my assistant. I'm using different things to move my work process a little bit quicker. So creators are saying that 29% are saying they use it daily, 43% say weekly, 14% say monthly, only 7% say once every few months. 4% said tried it once, never again, and 3% said never, right? And I bet you if we look at last year's report or even the report from 2022, we'll see that these numbers have shifted. I think that last year was really a big year for people to understand AI and understand the investment of it. And if you're a creator who's utilizing it, you're far more ahead than the one who's not. So the other thing is 6-figure creators excel at both managing their business while still investing in their personal lives, which is really cool to hear, right? The creator economy, a lot of folks think of it as like, a side gig, something for young people, but people are using this to invest in their futures. And it says here that they're diversifying their income. So 75% of creators own a home, 59% have health insurance, and 36% regularly invest in a 401k. And I know one of the things that being a creator, specifically a speaker and a consultant, and having this amazing brand, Speaking for Profit, it really gave me and my wife the abundance to be able to move. We moved from California to Atlanta, Georgia, purchased our first home, and have some plans on purchasing some more investments as well. So this isn't just like some side gig economy where it's only for young people who aren't focused on putting their money to things that are going to really be able to support their future, which I think is really exciting. It's really shaping into a field, right? Which is really cool. And this person is the insider of the creator economy. He's a publisher there. And he said, Jim, I'm pleasantly surprised by the number of creators who own a home, given that banks don't often lend to people with creator as a job, I'm unpleasantly surprised to see that only 40% of creators do not have health insurance. Take it from me, disaster can strike any moment. My biggest advice to creators, at least in the US, is set up an LLC. It's pretty easy to do, and you can funnel all of your revenue expenses through your LLC. It helps with taxes, but also insurance, banking, and much more. I totally agree with this. And I think, as you see creators in the US, you'll probably see more creators in the US that don't have health insurance because it's so expensive. Whereas I know a lot of creators who have moved out of the US to like Costa Rica and Bali and, different places where they're able to afford it a little bit more. So I think we'll see that shift if there's able to be some more economy and insurance created for creators that's a little bit more available. Now, what he said, I'm surprised about the people who own a home. I think oftentimes the other thing is that creators are usually in partnerships with other people who do have that W-2. And we know the W-2 it makes it easier to purchase a home. So that's probably where we're seeing some of that data as well. So this part was very interesting to me, y'all. This part is talking about niches that hit 6 figures in less than 2 years. So for folks who are interested in just getting started, I want you to take this with a grain of salt as well, because yes, these are niches that are selling, but also you want to pick something that you have integrity around, not just something that makes money, right? So the number one is beauty, of course, 42%. Less than 2 years hit that 6-figure mark. Number 2 is fitness, of course. Fitness is always up there. And number 3 is gaming, right? So this is interesting, y'all. Like, I have a business, and every year at Speaking for Profit University, we have that creator component. We make 6 figures or more, and it's not in any of these niches. So have integrity with the things that you're creating, and the money will come. So let's get to part 3. Who are the 6-figure creators? And this kind of breaks it down by gender, annual income, education, right? So 57% of 6-figure creators are male. 41% are female, 2% are non-binary. I would be in this 2%. Look at me, I'm in the 2%. I love that. The annual income of the creators, 58% make anywhere between $100K to $499K. 27% make $500K to $999. And then 1 million 17% make $1 million. So I'm still in this 58%, hoping to move at least to this 27% this year. But it's really cool to see that 17% of creators are making at least $1 million or more. Like, that's some great information. And then as far as education and work, 80% have a bachelor's degree or higher, and 86% work full time on their business, right? So the majority of folks are in this full time if they're able to bring in that 6 figures. And I know when I left my job, I was able to see extreme growth. But also there's ups and downs when it comes to business. So I want to be transparent about, like, yes, if you have capacity to leave your job and to give it your full, go for it. But also there's no shame in having a job or side gig or various streams of ways to make money in order to get financially free, right? Let's look at the follower count, right? For our 6-figure creators, 25% have 0 to 10,000 followers. 37% have 10,000 to 99,000 followers. 100,000 to pretty much 1 million followers is 33%. And then 5% have over 1 million followers. This is great for y'all to know, right? Like, look at the majority. Majority are really here between this 10,000 to 99, right? And then only 5% have 1 million followers. I remember I was watching this creator who was talking about he has 1 million followers, but he only makes $100,000 a year because most of those followers are on that platform and they haven't made it to his email list, right? So it's important that even when we're down here and we have a few hundred followers, that we're focusing on moving them off the platforms and meeting us in our homes, whether it's our email list or whether it's our text message list, moving those creators off of those platforms. The top niches, right? The top niches, business and marketing, finance, real estate, right? So that's good to know. And then this is the creator forecast for 2024. So it says creators want to unionize. For some reason, creators are looking for more ownership over their business and bottom lines. They're also looking for more protection against questionable behaviors of social platforms, which I see that happening. I don't know if y'all seen that, but TikTok had a monetization plan, and then a bunch of people made money and they never paid them out. Instagram did something similarly. So I think people are wanting to be protected. Like, they're going to do all this labor to build up these platforms. Are they going to pay them, right? Nearly half of the six-figure creators would join a creator union in the future. Good to know, right? Folks are considering a union. I don't know how I feel about that. I've always been interested in unions, but I definitely think more protection is needed. Number two, in an uncertain economy, creators will take extra measure to own their revenue streams. With inflation rates still high and brands cutting costs and doing layoffs, there could be fallout for creators who rely heavily on influencer marketing, brand deals, and platform ad payouts. Top 3 challenges six-figure creators are worried about: impact from inflation, platform vitality, growing their audience, right? So one of the things we're focused on this year is growing our audience and, staying marketable as far as price, but also not extending where our customers can't pay it. So I definitely feel that within the economy. Yep, but they're safeguarding through diversification. So plan on diversifying their revenue streams. 30% of creators plan to do that. Plan on launching successful new products or services. 30% of creators plan on doing that. Plan on investing in a newsletter. I've seen a lot of creators actually have a lot of clients who are moving towards the newsletter format, which I think is really cool. Plan on creating exclusive memberships. Plan on building email lists. So a lot of people are doing a lot of audience building. And I think the hope there, right, is if they own their audience. That's my hope, at least. I know that if I own my audience more, then I'll be able to make more income and more impact. The number 3 thing is social platforms need to win back creators' trust. Yeah, big time. Nearly 50% of creators don't trust social platforms. I've seen this a lot, y'all. People are saying the algorithm's not working, their stuff's not being seen. And I believe that as well. I was actually telling some clients, I have to literally go to the pages I want to see the stuff from my clients and from particular people to give them feedback. So that's one thing that's definitely happening. Number 4, more creators will embrace AI to save time and reduce burnout. I totally agree with that. Believe it or not, my wife is not as tech savvy, but she's using it right now. She's using video to chop up videos for her YouTube. So more and more creators are going to be using AI, and I'm one of them. And I'm preaching it to my clients, to my friends, to my family. We have to move into it. It's going to be a skill set that we need in the future. And believe it or not, even if you become a creator today and you decide to go back to work in a few years, you're going to need to use AI just like you need to use the internet. So you might as well get used to it. And this is one of my favorite folks, Roberto Blake. He's an amazing creator, and I follow all his stuff. I got to meet him at the Kajabi Kajabi Summit last year, so shouts out to him. And he says, AI is going to revolutionize the creator economy. AI automation is helping solo creators scale who can't afford to invest in a team yet, and it's helping them extend their reach and compete despite having fewer resources and support than their peers. As these tools and the education around them become more available, I see more creators embracing AI in 2024 and beyond, which I totally agree with. So this is great, y'all. I'm going to put this report in the show notes so that you all can review it yourself. I just wanted to give it a quick review with you all so you all could just see some of the amazing things that is happening in the creator economy and some of the things that happened last year. Attention public speakers, coaches, and consultants. Ever dreamt of booking 5-figure speaking and consulting contracts? In just 5 days, I'm teaching my tried and tested system to elevate your speaking and consulting business. Forget the cold emails, bypass the salesy pitches. This challenge is about building genuine high-value connections. And here's a promise I have for you. With a commitment of just 1 to 2 hours a day for 5 days, you're going to witness transformative results. On day 1, you'll learn how to craft a business strategy without cold emails or paying to speak. Day 2 is all about you redefining your profile to attract decision makers ready to invest in your expertise. By day 3, you'll have your very own 5-figure sales system to turn contacts into clients. By day 4, we will have you automating your funnel with proven templates and scripts. And day 5, I'm going to teach you how to master the art of discovery calls with a step-by-step checklist and exclusive 5-figure sales secrets. Whether you're just stepping onto the speaking scene or you're a seasoned pro, this challenge is tailor-made for you. I'm going to teach you the exact strategies that have helped me helped my clients make over $2 million in the last 2 years. The journey to a thriving 5-figure speaking and consulting business begins with this challenge. So are you ready to redefine your limits, accelerate your growth, and bask in the limelight of your success? I want you to join the 5 days to 5-figure speaking challenge now. Let's rewrite your success story together. Simply head over to speakingforprofit.com. You're going to click that button that says 5 days to 5-figure speaking gigs so you can get started with the challenge. Can't wait to see you there. All right, now back to the show. One of the things that I've really been focusing on, y'all, and that I want to extend to you is focus on building a business that is based off of numbers and data and not on emotionality. There's so many days that don't feel the greatest for me sometimes. I have to admit, some days I wake up and I'm like, it's not my happy day, right? But what I do know is I can't focus on how I feel. I have to focus on the numbers and what really exists. So for you, what are ways that you're growing your business? Look at your analytics, look at your data. How many followers did you grow last year? How many people are on your email list? What's the speed of your growth? Like, how much are you actually selling? What's your revenue? What's your profit or your loss? Having an understanding of this can ease a lot of your anxiety, but also give you more realistic planning and strategy that you can create for yourself. So if this was helpful, go on and put the word money in the comments, and do me a favor. If you're watching this on YouTube, go on and share in the comments, like, how are you planning on growing your business to 6 figures, especially if you have a digital product and you haven't done that yet. What are your plans for 2024? I would love to support you. As you all know, I am a partner with Kajabi. I love their platform, and I've created some amazing videos. I'll be sure to, at the end of here, attach a few of them that you can watch, right? To take you a deeper dive into Kajabi. And I have one particular video that teaches you how to make your first $1,000 on the platform. But if you want to get started with Kajabi, you want to create your online course or your ebook, what I'm going to do is leave in the show notes. I'm going to leave a link so that you can get 30 days free of Kajabi. Now, normally they would give you like 14 days, but I want you to have 30 days. If you have a month to create, guaranteed you're going to be able to create something where you're able to make some extra cash flow, but also really impact and help your audience. And I believe that if you're watching this video and you're a creator, you probably already have that in the back of your mind. So I'll go on and put that in the show notes for you as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited to see what you create, and continue to monetize your message, monetize your expertise, and continue to secure the bag, y'all. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And until next time, peace.